Okay. And yeah, let me introduce myself. My name is Avinash, Avinash Reddy. I'm working as a specialist, cloud and infrastructure BU, business unit. And I have total 11 years experience. And recently I was recognized as a AWS community builder by AWS. And you can get in touch with me through my LinkedIn profile. So just go to LinkedIn and you search uh, with my username or with my full name. You can find my profile there. There you can see where I'm working. You can even verify my certifications, whatever the certifications I mentioned here, like a security specialist, solution architect, as well as professional, right? SysApps administrator, the Azure certification, GCP certification, you can verify there. Okay. So, yeah, in our last session, we had introduction to cloud computing. So then we had a quick introduction to advantages of cloud computing. The first 10 minutes, I'll quickly explain what we discussed in our last session. So then we will jump into today's topic, like, what exactly these deployment models we have in cloud computing. So today, again, still we are going to discuss cloud computing only. Tomorrow onwards, we are going to start with AWS introduction, AWS roadmap and everything. Okay. The sound is low. Is there any problem with my voice, guys? You're able to hear? Am I loud and clear? Online, guys? Can someone confirm it through chat box? Clear. It's clear. Okay. Adjust your volume. Adjust your volume accordingly. All right. Thanks for confirming that. So, yeah, basically this cloud computing, in simple, instead of building your own infrastructure, you are going to use a rented infrastructure. Infrastructure means servers, network, database, applications, these all components, right? You are going to use on rented basis. Why you need to use it on rented basis? The logic is simple. If you want to build an infrastructure, it involves with lot of cost. You need to spend lot of amount. Lot of upfront cost is required. So that upfront cost is definitely matter. Instead of spending 1 crore and building a house and staying in that house, paying 10,000 rupees and staying is very, very easy, right? Okay. So it's not a burden. It's not going to be a burden. So same mechanism here for organizations. 1 crore also not sufficient if you want to deliver an enterprise level organizations. You need to have $1 million. You need to have $1 million to build a data center and to deliver that. So obviously that's huge for small and medium range organizations. Okay, so instead of spending that and using, they are depending on a service provider called Amazon Web Services or Azure or GCP. They are launching their servers there. They're using for some time, like, a month or years, they are using. So then they are, once they're done with the requirement, they're closing the resources. It's truly pay as you go mechanism. Pay as you go means pay for the resources you actually using. And yesterday, whatever the topic we discussed, right? I told you there is a question on capital expenditure and operational expenditure. So CapEx means capital expenditure. If you want to use this AWS environment, no or less capital expenditure. Capital expenditure means how much money you need to have initially to develop your infra. Okay, that is a capital. We have another one that is a OPEX, operational expenditure. So definitely this operational expenditure involved, whether you are using on-premise or your regular environment or cloud, this operational expenditure definitely required. For example, your salary comes under that operational expenditure only. to manage that company AWS account, to performing the activities, they're going to pay you, right? So every month operational expenditure is there, but compared to on-premise, it's going to be very, very less. So less operational expenditure for cloud environments. Okay, let me quickly show you that question as well. And another advantage is you designed a web page now itself, and immediately by tomorrow you want to deliver that web page to everyone. In regular process, is it possible? In regular process, definitely it's not possible, right? So you develop your website today, tomorrow, if you want to deliver that website, first, if you want to deliver a website, you need to have a server, right? Okay, you need a server, you need database, you need network. Are you going to purchase all these components and are you going to deliver that? So the purchasing that entire process itself will take a lot of time. So we cannot go global in minutes. But whenever you are using this cloud service providers, infrastructure and everything is already ready. You can simply utilize that and you can go global in minutes. Okay. So that is another advantage. Okay. So let me quickly show you the question as well as we are discussing the topic. Yeah, this is one question. So pay as you go pricing model for AWS services. What is the answer? The first one is reduce capital expenditure. Second one is requires payment upfront for AWS. C, it's relevant only for some services in AWS. D, it reduce operational expenditure. A, sure? Everyone? Yeah. Why not D? So pay as you go is purely for capital expenditure. You no need to have any amount now. So you go and you start using the resources based on your usage only you pay. So because of that, for example, your organization not given any work to you, will they give less salary? Will you accept for that? No, right? So that operational expenditure. Operational expenditure, whether it is cloud or on-premise, it's always involved. So that we cannot skip, right? So this pay as you go helps reducing capital expenditure, right? That is one question related to. And another question, what are the benefits of using AWS cloud for companies with customers in many countries? Okay, this is our next session topic. Okay. Yeah, this question I want to show you. Which method helps to optimize costs for users moving to AWS cloud? An organization decided to move to AWS cloud. So which method helps them to optimize the cost? Sure, everyone? Okay. So purchasing hardware before it is needed. Do we really need to purchase hardware before it is really required? Additional cost. So no. Manually provision cloud resources, whether you are provisioning it manually, automating with the help of third-party tools, doesn't matter. If you are creating something, AWS will cost you that. So C also not a valid answer. Purchasing for the maximum possible workloads. So that means today you have very less workload only, but your future analysis saying like you may need this high configuration and all. So are you going to consider that and are you going to purchase at maximum workload now itself? No. So pay as you go. Again, paying only for what is used. Again, he have not given pay as you go. He simplified that and given in common language. So the primary reason for this cloud is pay as you go. Pay as you go method. Pay for the resources you actually use. Again, the cost and all month-end bill generates. You can evaluate. You can dispute the bill if you really want. You need more clarification and all. You can dispute and AWS give an explanation also. For every single penny also, AWS give an explanation. Right? So because of this pay as you go, not only AWS, all the cloud service providers, right, are providing this pay as you go. Because of that only, lot of organizations migrating to cloud instead of building their own environments. And another thing here is that, yeah. So advantages of cloud computing. On-demand self-service. Whatever service you really require, you can go there and you can pick, you create, you manage, you delete. Okay, end of the month bill generate, you pay it. Everything self-service, you are managing the resources. Okay, so that too on demandly. If you're taking my AWS account, if we go here, if we click on my services, these many services are there. Even in my organization, we are not using all the services we have in AWS. We are not really using all the services. For example, if you're taking this satellite, there is a service called ground station that you can send a satellite. You can operate that satellite. You can communicate with the satellite with the help of this ground station service. That's not my company business. So still they need to pay for this. No. Having a service in your AWS account doesn't cost you. On demandly, what service you are picking, what service you are really using, you need to pay for that only. Okay, so that's what this on-demand self-service means. So the second advantage is broad network access and high availability. If you're taking this AWS global infra, just observe this. Don't worry, much technical things. So if you're taking this AWS global infrastructure, AWS has 32 launched region. Region, there is no definition, just a geographical location. But you see this, one or two availabilities only. Yesterday I told you 99 only, 100, right? They added two more. So total one or two availability zones. Availability zone is nothing but a data center. If you are hovering your cursor here in Hyderabad, you see there are three data centers here in Hyderabad. If you hover your cursor to this Mumbai, in Mumbai we have three data centers. Just in India, AWS is maintaining 6 data centers. In same way, they have one or two data centers across the globe. Have you ever gone through any data center video? No? Do it today. Go to YouTube. If you haven't seen any data center video, go to YouTube, look for Google Data Center. Inside Google Data Center. Okay, so there is a video. This one, inside a Google Data Center. This is official video, guys. This is officially posted by Google only, right? You can see that. So this is all the data center, right? They will show you everything. So the monitoring, who is accessing that, right? What is a server floor? This is all servers. You are simply using Gmail backend, that much infrastructure is running. That just only one data center. Okay, the authentication, everything, right? So you go there, spend some time, complete this video. You will get a clarity what is a data center and all, right? And you know what? This data center maintenance cost is going to be very, very huge. These servers, these many servers are running, how much heat it is going to generate? Lot of. The cooling systems only, you can see that here, these all are the cooling systems too, like, you know, that AC to maintain proper temperature. So you remember, in your college, your classroom has AC? But computer lab? Yes. Right, why? Why your computer lab has AC? Temperature, it is going to generate. Just that big space and those small little PCs only required an AC. These many servers continuously running 24/7. How much heat it is going to generate? So different teams to maintain all these things and to reduce it, this cooling cost. What Microsoft did recently, Microsoft put all the servers into a big container. They send all the servers, they put all the servers into underwater in a sea. That sea water, right? It cool down the temperature. So even I'll recommend you to go through this also. Okay, instead of that Instagram scrollings, YouTube scrollings, read technical articles, go through these technical videos. That helps you better. Okay, so Microsoft underwater data center. Just search this. You see, this is again Microsoft official video. I'm not saying this, okay? This is official video of Microsoft. You can see that this is how exactly they made a deck and they're operating that. See, they're sending, how they're sending, the monitoring. So just to reduce that temperature cost, they're doing this. See, when they taken that out, right? So you can take some time and go through this. It really helpful one. So such type of data centers, we have 100 across the globe. So obviously you're going to get this broad networks and high availability automatically. Instead of you building data centers across the globe, you can use that. So then resource pooling. So you can share underlying hardware with another customers and you're going to get charged less. Yesterday we talked about this, just like a Uber pool or Ola share, we can use that. Then we have this rapid elasticity. Yesterday I have demonstrated this. I launched the server, I upgraded that server, I downgraded that, again I downgraded, again I upgraded. So I did all these operations in a span of 10 minutes. Can we do that same thing with our own laptops? Can we increase the RAM to 8 GB, then downgrading again, upgrading? Is that possible? With our laptop, it's going to take a lot of time. But with cloud, you can do easily without taking much downtime. And no need to worry about hardware compatibilities. So if I do this upgradation, my hardware will support or not? Is this works as expected or not? No need to worry about such type of compatibility issues whenever you're using cloud. Measured services. In AWS, whatever the service you're going to use, just observe my bill. Okay, for a single cent also, they will give an explanation. So whatever the usage, right, you have, they will completely verify that and they're going to cost you based on the usage. Let's take a service called S3. Okay, simple storage service. So something is costing me 2 cents. I want to verify that. I can expand and what is costing me the 2 cents. 1 cent is for this. 1000 put request, 1000 uploads and all. Out of 1000, I performed 1045. AWS cost me 0.01 cent. And where is another cent? See, this is a Glacier storage for this AWS is costing me. Okay, so for every single paise, you are getting an explanation. So AWS is measuring everything. Blindly, they are not costing. If I am using S3, okay, not $30, something like that, right? So what is your usage? In my case, I'm just exploring, so less cost. If some another service is there, someone using very heavily, then they may definitely get charged more, right? Yesterday in my organizational account, the cost is 10,000 US dollars. But in my account, it's just like, 0.95 US dollars, $1. Why? Based on usage. There is no standard pricing, no fixed pricing. AWS is going to measure your usage. Based on your usage only, they are going to cost you. All right? Clear with that point, measured services point? So this is all we discussed in our last session only. Quickly, I have recap and I talked a bit more additional points. Right. So here in today's session, we are going to discuss what exactly this deployment models are. Okay. So, this deployment models, we can compare with our regular outside transport methods. Okay. So public cloud, basically this public cloud means it's open for everyone. Anyone can use it. All you need to do is, if you want to use any cloud services, you need to have an account with them. You log in, you create server, you start using it. Okay. So this public cloud, they don't ask you whether you are a student, for what organization you are working, what is your designation. They don't ask you anything. Just for verification purpose, you need to provide your credit card or debit card information. After that, they will give you an account, you can start using it. If you ask me, the comparison, regular comparison, it's just like a public transport. You're using APSRTC buses, or if you are using this L&T metro rail, right? Will they ask you anything? What are you doing? Are you a student? Then only we'll give ticket. Nothing like that, right? So if you're paying some money, they're going to give a ticket to you, you travel. Even if a foreigner comes and if he gives 10 rupees, they will give a ticket. No question, nothing, right? Yeah. So same thing here. Public cloud is open for everyone. Now, one point you need to pay attention here. Who takes care about maintenance issues? As you're paying ticket, will you take care about the maintenance issues? Are you responsible for example, train got struck at Amirbed station? Are you responsible for fixing that issue as you purchase the ticket? No, right? So who is responsible? Service provider, the vendor. So we are the consumers, customers. So you don't have any access. Even if you know how to fix the issue, if you go and if you tell them, will they allow you to fix the issue? No. Their technical team need to come and they are going to fix the issue. So the maintenance part, the service provider, will take care about maintenance. And end of the day completed. Okay, now where the train is going to stay? As you purchase a ticket, are they going to send one bogie with you? No, right? So the location where the resources presented, the location also, not your location, it's somewhere else. Okay, that completely where it is running, how it is placing, technical issues, everything the service provider will take care. You no need to worry about anything. That is with a public cloud mechanism. Clear? Now, private cloud. This is your own car. You are going to purchase a own car. So who can use that car? You? Only you? Family members, okay, good. Yeah, you can use and your family members can use. Friends, don't give to friends, okay? They will empty your fuel tank and they will give you keys. Okay, right. So generally this private cloud is not open for everyone. It's dedicated for one particular organization. It's dedicated for one particular organization. So for example, if you're taking Infosys have a lot of data centers. You know where their primary data center is? Mysore. It's in Mysore. Their primary data center is in Mysore. Now, Hyderabad office is there, like that Pocharam campus is there, that SES campus is there, right? So, some employees are there. Can these guys access that, what is it, data center? Yes, they can. Why? Because the data center completely built by Infosys, that is managed by Infosys only, right? But can you access the data center? No. Until unless you work for that organization, you don't get any access to the data center. So only that data center designed and delivered to that specific organization. So that we can call it as a private cloud. That is one example. Another example is, okay, if you're taking ICICI, in Hyderabad, where is ICICI data center located? Gachibowli. Gachibowli ICICI Towers is there, right? In that tower, 7th floor is completely dedicated to data center only. Multiple times I got a chance to visit that. Okay. So in that tower, 7th floor entirely is for data center. So the ICICI server managed by what organization? No, not ICICI. All ICICI data centers managed by Infosys. It's a contract. Okay. So entire ICICI website, mobile application, data center, everything developed and managed by Infosys only. Right. So what ICICI did, they have given annual contract. Okay, you take care about entire infra. Where you are going to put, I'll give space. You take care. If server is not working, that's your responsibility. You fix the issue, you maintain the issue, and raise a PO, I'll pay. That is a contract between the Infosys and ICICI. So in this private cloud, that organization may maintain their data centers, or they may give the data center maintenance to different organization in simple. If it is your car, flat tire, okay, for example, as I told you, this is like your own car, a flat tire. Do you know how to fix that? If you got a puncture, how to fix that? But you purchased that car yesterday only, today puncture. You have that experience? If you are using it from last 10 years, yeah, you might learn that. But you purchased yesterday or last week and now puncture. What do? You will call some expert, right? You will call some mechanic or the guy who takes care of that. You are going to call that guy and that guy is going to fix it. He will fix and he will go. Or you can give a contract to him. Whenever I'm facing an issue, you come and do it. But that is your car only, right? So when coming to this private cloud also, it will be, right, dedicated for only one organization. It will be dedicated for one organization where it will run. Where runs also matter when coming to public cloud, right? So where it runs? It runs at service provider location. Now, when coming to private cloud, it dedicated for only one organization. Who takes care about maintenance part? You, if you know how to do it, or give it third-party contract. If you know how to fix it, see ICICI, I told you that example, right? ICICI main business is banking and the completely banking sector, right? So they are not really into IT. So they are not maintaining any IT managers, the data center maintenance guys and all. So the one of the organization, they simply offloaded all that activities. So I can say Infosys is a third party service provider, annual maintenance contractor for that ICICI. And now where the data center is, where data center runs. So it may runs at client location. It may run at that client means not a proper word. It may run at that organization location or remote location. Again, do we need to purchase all these things? Depends. If you ask Infosys only to provide all the servers and all, they will provide, they will cost you. AWS also giving a private cloud. Okay, the service name is AWS Outpost. If you are purchasing this AWS service, so what you can do, you can ask AWS to get some servers. What AWS will do, AWS build some servers based on your requirement. They will get that servers, they will place in our office. Okay, your workload, everything runs in that servers only. Your application, your data stores in that servers only. But when something happened to the server, who will fix the issue? Simply raise ticket with AWS, AWS will come and fix it. The service name is AWS Outpost. I'll quickly show you that. AWS Outposts. On-premise private cloud. What exactly on-premise means? The servers and everything runs in our local area. Okay. Here the server is going to run. So on-premise is here, the server is running here. And that to private cloud. Whatever the server running here, those all servers dedicated for only my organization. Again, as the servers provided by AWS, they don't allow anyone to access the servers. So it's a AWS outpost. You can go here, you can read about that. Even you can see some images also. These all are the organizations that using, Philips is using, right? So you can even look for some images. Yeah, this is the image. AWS place such type of servers in our office that dedicatedly for our network. It's AWS official documentation only. Okay. So clear with this private cloud? In simple, private cloud means it's completely dedicated to your organization. No other organization use that resources. Where it runs, it may be in your office or it may be in remote. Who takes care about maintenance? Your organization may take care or third-party organization may take care. Okay, those are the possible ways for this private cloud. Third one is hybrid cloud. Lot of organizations are using this private cloud. Hybrid cloud, sorry. Lot of organizations. In my project, yes, we are using hybrid cloud. I'll even show you after some time, okay? I'm calling it as a hybrid cloud. So we already have some data centers in on-premise. So my organization already have some data centers. They already have a lot of servers. It's a, like, the organization is there for so long time. Okay, before this cloud is so popular, my organization is there. You know what, from what time onwards this cloud become very popular? From what year onwards? Just guess. 19? No. 2017? From 2012, 13. From 2012, 13 onwards, this cloud, market increased rapidly. Till that time, from 2006 onwards, this cloud is there. AWS officially launched in 2006, okay? Before that, no AWS. If someone says, I have 20 years experience on AWS, don't trust him. Okay, why? Because AWS itself is not there. He's not a founder of AWS, right? So, luckily, my advantage is, in my career initial stage itself, I got a chance to work on AWS technology. At that time, I've not shown much interest, but later, it only helping me. Okay, so the thing is, before that, before 15 years or before 20 years, how these all applications run? We have websites, we have this banking applications, we have everything. And if you go to any bank, they will test and they will say server is busy. Right? 20 years back, that is a scenario. Now also same scenario. That primarily with government banks. If you go with SBI, what they will say? After lunch. Okay. You go 4 p.m., they will say after lunch. Yeah, lunch at 2 p.m. only, right? Tomorrow after lunch. Okay, keep that aside. Right. So the thing is, earlier also we have servers. It's not a new thing. So, but what happened if I now cloud came, I already invested a lot. I already invested 10 million US dollars on my data center. Now, suddenly cloud technology came. Do I need to scrap all the 10 million US dollars and do I need to start using cloud? Not a good idea. Okay. So, in such type of scenarios, organizations, they will run their existing workloads. Whatever data centers, whatever the servers they already have, they will keep it. But new requests, new servers, they don't purchase. They will create it in AWS. Now, a requirement. So my on-premise server, my existing server, need to communicate with the server running in AWS. Can we enable that communication? Yes. We can enable communication between AWS and Azure. You can enable communication between on-premise server to AWS. Right? You take any network, we can enable communication between cloud to that network. In that scenario, we call it as a hybrid cloud. Okay. So hybrid means some resources in on-premise, some resources in cloud, or some resources with one service provider, some resources with another service provider. That also we can call it as a hybrid cloud. Okay, to create this hybrid cloud, we have lot of options. Okay, hybrid cloud, combination of one or more cloud deployment models. Either it is public plus public or public plus private. Okay, or public plus community, the next option we are going to discuss. Anything. If two methods involved, we call it as a hybrid cloud. As I told you, we have hybrid cloud environment. Okay, how we can achieve this hybrid cloud? We have multiple options. One is site-to-site VPN connections. Second one is AWS Direct Connect. So you know VPN services, right? You use VPN. So for example, some website is not accessible here in India, but still you want to access them. You connect to VPN, you can access the websites, right? So virtually you're sitting in that country, right? So virtually you're sitting in that country, but physically you are here only. So same way, if you enable the site-to-site VPN connectivity, whatever the server you have, virtually it is part of that cloud or vice versa. So they both can communicate. VPN connectivity, VPN established connectivity between two networks. Nowadays, everybody is doing, most of you are doing work from home, right? So how you are able to access your office servers? By connecting VPNs only. If I don't connect to VPN, I cannot connect to a server. So VPN is with the help of VPN, we can enable communication between those two networks. Or AWS has a service called AWS Direct Connect. AWS fetch a cable from their data center to your office. From their data center to your office, they will fetch a cable. While fetching the cable, we need to choose how much bandwidth we require. We need to choose how much bandwidth we really require. Based on the selected bandwidth, the communication will happen. No internet required. Again, so for example, my office is in Vijayawada or Warangal, right? AWS has data center here in Hyderabad or Mumbai. Is there going to fetch a cable? No, they partner with some telecom services. If you're taking this Telugu states, so this Tata Communications, Reliance Jio, SIFI network, these three partner with AWS. If you're requesting direct connect, so then automatically they will you will get a cable connectivity from nearby service provider. So we are using this direct connect. Okay. So you can see this again for classroom guys. I can show you this. So can you read this sub mail title? The just top mail title. Yeah. So even if you observe this, whatever direct connect links we have, here is an image for classroom guys, right? So these links, what we already have direct connect. Out of 3 links, 2 links down. Okay. So that's the issue we faced. So you know why I'm showing this image? We are using hybrid environment. Just to confirm, I've shown that. So we have a dedicated connectivity between our on-premise server to AWS servers. Both are communicating each other, so we can call it as a completely hybrid cloud. Now, am I going to work on on-premise servers? No, my responsibility is managing AWS. So, but in interview, you can expect a question. What is a deployment method you have in your current project? So your answer should be, you mention either completely public or hybrid. Okay. So you mentioned completely public. So that means all your servers are running in AWS. You don't have any servers in on-premise and all. Or you mentioned we are having hybrid, but you should know the connectivity options, Okay, then only you can talk confidently, right? You mentioned, yeah, before we started this exploring AWS, my organization already have some data centers, some servers. Okay, but if any new POCs comes, proof of concepts comes, if any new project comes, we are going to launch that servers in AWS with the help of side-to-side VPN connectivity or with the help of direct connectivity. We enable communication between these two resources. So I can say my current environment is a hybrid cloud. That should be your answer. Okay. You can definitely expect this question. Right. So the last one is community cloud. Nowadays, no one is using this. I'll explain. Okay. I won't skip. Okay. Community cloud. Nothing but group of organizations, they build an infrastructure. Only that group of organization use the resources. That is a community cloud. Is this a new thing? Community mechanism is a new thing. Anyone staying in communities? No. Okay. I'm also not staying in a community, but if you're staying in community, you have some advantages. What are those advantages? Shared services, tennis court you can use, swimming pool you can use, volleyball court you can use, but that's not your dedicated one. Okay, let me simplify this. You need a house, you should have a swimming pool, you should have a small auditorium, you should have a tennis court, you should have a small park. Now, how much money you require? That too, you should have that in Hyderabad. 1 crore. I'll give you 1 crore. Give me half of it. 1 crore is nothing. Okay, if you go to that, you see that recent action, Telangana government action, right? 1 acre, 100 crores. Yeah, see, in my 100 crores is just for land only. Park, how much park you are going to give? It's a garden park, balcony park? No, right? So my requirement is that I need all those. Then only I want to purchase a house. Definitely, I need to have around 200 to 300 crores, right? I'm telling that I need in Hyderabad. So, but you heard about these communities. If you take this Rainbow Vistas, a community 400 flats, 500 flats, swimming pool. That swimming pool also in the terrace swimming pools. Okay, so then a park. Who can use? Can you go and use that swimming pool? Until unless you are staying in that apartments, then only you are allowed to use that swimming pool. Apply same mechanism here. Okay, keep the general example. So the general examples, right? I'm not explaining for time pass. So you need to apply that mechanism to the technical things. Okay, you have some servers. Okay, so who can use that servers? You, along with you, some other guys also going to raise the money to build the servers, right? They raise money to build the data center, right? Those all guys can use that servers along with you, right? So someone if directly come and if they ask you to, can I use a server and all, we'll definitely say no. If you want to use a server, you sign a contract, you pay some money, then you will get access. So technically, the data center or infrastructure shared with multiple organizations. That is a community mechanism. Okay. In simple, we have SR Nagar Community Hall. Can you go and do your birthday function there? Until unless you are part of that SR Nagar colony, then only you are allowed to. Otherwise, no. Same logic here. Okay. So nowadays, no one is using, but some organizations, yes, they are doing business with this mechanism. Recently in Vizag, Adani data center started. You aware about this news? Adani data center started. What is the purpose of that Adani data centers? For small organizations who are not able to purchase the servers and all to deliver their application, they are going to give servers on rented basis. In their data center, they will give you a server rack with your required servers. You pay. Next to your server rack, another company's servers also runs. So multiple company servers running on same data center. That's what community is. Not only Adani data centers, Control yes. Okay. Control S also do business with the same mechanism. Right? That's also an organization. So such type of organizations doing. The only logic here with community cloud is group of organizations use the infra. Now, where it runs somewhere else. Not in my company, not in your company, it runs somewhere else. Who take care maintenance? So either one of the company from the community or a different organization, they will use that. They will take care about maintenance activities. So you no need to worry much about this community, guys. Why? Because nowadays no one is using. I don't want you to answer your environment type as a community also. You will get a lot of unnecessary questions that which really nowadays no one is using. So you stick to this public cloud or this hybrid cloud. Those are the best options. Okay. So I'm open to all your questions on this deployment model. Any questions from classroom? Yes, please. Yes, it's a dedicated fiber lease line from AWS data center to our on-premise, our office. They will place some subnet devices. They will place some devices in our office. So that enable communication between AWS and our on-premise. It's a fiber connectivity. Any other questions from classroom? Any questions from online? Sir, can you please tell about public cloud ones? Okay, sure, Satish. Basically, public cloud, the best example is AWS. Okay, so you are learning AWS, you can request AWS for an AWS account. What you are doing doesn't matter to AWS. Once you get connected to, for what purpose you are launching that server also doesn't matter. For example, if you are taking me, I'm launching a server to explain how to launch a server, how to connect to it. Is it matter to AWS? No. If I'm launching a server, they are going to cost me. That is only matter to AWS. For what I'm doing, what is my designation, for what purpose I'm launching that server, those all not at all matter for AWS. Okay, so they gave account for everyone who use this. Whoever ready to use this AWS, they gave an account for everyone. That's what this public cloud means. Okay, right. Okay, in hybrid, old physical hardware of an organization, communication with another data center. Yes, in hybrid, not old, that's not a proper word, okay? Your existing, okay, your existing resources, existing server can communicate with AWS servers. Okay. Does that answers your question, Akhil? Side-to-side VPN, please explain. AWS Direct Connect. Admin. See, he put his name as admin, but he's not a Naresh IT admin. Okay, don't put such type of names, guys. And give your valid name. So basically, side-to-side VPN connection. You guys don't use VPN? Yeah, you use VPN, right? Yeah, right. So, for example, I'm doing work from home. I'm sitting in my home network. Okay. I have my home Wi-Fi network. I'm sitting in my home. I opened my office laptop. I got internet, so I'm started working. Now I have to upload something to my server. But my office server is somewhere else. My office server is somewhere else in high tech city and all. But I'm sitting at Kukatpalli. How I can access that server? Over the internet, not secured. Over the internet, not at all secured. If you are using without, we can make our server internet facing and we can make it available, but lot of attacks may happen. So that is not at all secure to make your server internet facing or public facing. So instead of such type of attacks, okay, so we can connect to VPN. Now what this VPN will do? It will establish a tunnel between your current network and your office network. Whatever the traffic you're trying to access, the traffic will go within the tunnel only. The tunnel is going to be encrypted. That encryption method is going to change frequently. Okay, so that is what VPN is. I hope that answers your question, admin. All right. Any other questions from online? If you want to ask your question, you can raise your hand and allow you to unmute. Otherwise, you put your question in our chat box. You drop there, I'll pick from there. Sir, private cloud is set up from AWS location. See, private cloud setup is like, depends. We have two options available. So one is private cloud may be in your office, just like I have shown AWS Outpost. Okay, the servers and everything is managed by AWS only. But where they are putting that server? They are keeping servers in our office only. But who takes care about maintenance? For example, one server not able to connect, one server hardware crashed. AWS places the server here, they will take care. Or if you are maintaining your own hardware, then you need to take care. The logic is very simple for this private cloud, right? Treat it as your own car. You paid full money, you got the car, or you purchased a car on monthly basis, right? You are getting a car monthly, you are paying. If something happened to that engine, who will fix the issue? Whoever given the car to you, the service provider, monthly, you are paying amount, right? That guy need to fix the issue. That is one option. That is AWS. AWS only giving servers to us. You are using the servers. If something happened, AWS will fix it. Or you have enough money. Instead of depending on AWS, you build your servers and all. The servers is in your office only, but something happened to the server. Who need to fix the server? You have to fix the server. So it depends which method you are using when coming to this private cloud. All right. So I hope that answers your question. Prakash. Hello, sir. Is there a syllabus? Yeah, I'll share that syllabus today. Can we shift from private cloud to public cloud or hybrid cloud and same reverse? Yes, you can. So if you want to shift from public cloud to hybrid or from on-premise to AWS, you keep your servers, you create an AWS account, you create VPN, it's a hybrid cloud. Or you scrap all your existing servers or migrate all the servers to AWS, then you run your entire workload from private or on-premise to you migrate it to AWS. So yes, it is possible. Which cloud is best, Azure or AWS? Obviously AWS. The reason? I teach AWS. Not that. The revenue, the more customers, the more job opportunities if you compare that. Okay, so Azure is behind this AWS. Azure is second place. So I'm not saying that. There is a organization called Gartner. You might hear about this. So go to Gartner, search for Gartner Magic Quadrant Cloud Service Providers chart. AWS named as a leader for last 14 years onwards. Last 14 years onwards, AWS named as a leader. Why it is AWS named as a leader? More customers are there, more guys are using, more companies are using, more revenue is generating. As more companies are using, more job opportunities. Okay, so I'll definitely recommend AWS only. And there is a comparison chart, cloud comparison chart. I'll talk about that. Okay, so if you learn AWS, it's not going to be difficult to learn Azure. Okay, if you learn how to drive a Tata car, can you drive a Skoda car? Is that going to be difficult? No, not at all. Right. So can you drive a Suzuki? Of course you can. So only the cosmetic changes, the look and feel, some controls changes. But end of the day, every car has steering. There is a back-end engine, there is a tires. So same, some infra services are there, some cosmetic changes are there. Okay, but where the difference comes? If you want to purchase a car, which car you purchase, Tata or Skoda? Why? You have more money? If you are looking for budget, see everybody anonymously saying Skoda. No. Some of you might interested about Tata also, right? And anyone want to purchase Ferrari? See, some guys are nodding their head. See, for them, money is not matter. For Tata guys, money is matter. For Skoda guys, safety is matter. See, in this classroom itself, we have different opinions on just car. So obviously, we have different opinions on service providers also. So, but end of the day, all are doing same job. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what's the major use of hybrid cloud? Hybrid cloud major usage is you cannot scrap your servers. You already invested a lot of money. You already invested a lot of money for that existing servers. As become cloud famous, are you going to throw all the servers? No, right? You can use it. If lifetime is there for server for coming 20 years, why to throw that server? Use the servers for coming 20 years, then throw it. Right. So that is a reason for hybrid cloud major use. Can we compress files on cloud and reverse? Yeah, we can compress files. Can we learn AWS without prior knowledge? See, to learn AWS, no prior knowledge required. So I'll talk about the general questions now. So the scheduled 1 hour completed for technical discussions during this demo periods, right? We are going to extend the sessions to answer the regular questions. Okay, so still we are into technical things only. If data center damaged, can we recover our entire data? So yeah, good question. So that's the reason AWS replicate our data across multiple data centers. Okay, AWS, if you take a service called S3, you know what is the durability AWS is giving? 99.99. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9% durability. If you upload a file to AWS S3 platform, how many chances are there to lose that file because of AWS mistake? If you manually deleted, nothing. We can't do anything, or AWS can't do anything. But due to some technical issue, due to data center issue, due to natural disaster issues, if anything occurs, if any technical issue occurred from AWS side, how many chances are there to lose our data? 0. 0.8 zeros then 9. 1. 0.000000001% chances are there to lose your data. Right. So the environment, the ecosystem they build, that much robust environments it is. So you really don't need to worry about that. Still, I don't want to take that 0.00001% chances also. You have an option to replicate your data. You keep another copy of your data in on-premise, in your local network, or you keep your data in another region server. So such type of fault tolerance, high availability environments also we can configure. All right. Hope that answers your question. Sahil. Right. So, sir, today is my first class. See, this class started yesterday, but whatever we discussed yesterday, this is a demo session, right? I already talked about that entire thing today also. Right. So we haven't started anything about AWS. All right. Hope that answers your question, Nikat. Can a non-IT student, it's a worst case scenario. Yeah, worst case scenarios. I talked worst case scenarios only here. When this batch has been started, it started yesterday. It started yesterday. If we will not pay amount on time, what will happen? AWS suspend will your AWS account. Thanks for the question. You know what? I generally forget the things. I have to pay last month bill. Yesterday also, you see this? We have not received payment for July month. I need to pay July month bill. Otherwise, they may suspend my account in coming days. Okay. even though it's 82 rupees only, but I have to pay it by 31st August. So yeah, so they don't, still I'm using this account, same account email. Okay. So they don't delete all your servers and all, but they will suspend. If you pay the bill, again, you can get all your servers data back. Yeah. Hope that answers your question, Uday Kumar. Solution architect, I'll talk about that. Can we able to complete all this? Yes, in 45 days. Yes. See, Satish, uh, I'm I'm in this domain from last 7 years onwards. I'm with Naresh IT only. I started AWS here. I trained thousands of members. Even some of my students working in AWS as a technical account manager, as a TAM also. So I deal with all those, right? So yes, I can assure you, whatever the course syllabus we committed, I can definitely complete that within given time frame again. So that 45 days is not a hard timeline. If required, definitely we are going to increase it to 2 sessions or 3 sessions. It's not like, cut short to 45 and all. So yeah. So this is our course curriculum. I have posted that in our chat box. You click on that link. Okay. So you can get our course curriculum. What are the things we are going to discuss? I'll talk more about this in our coming sessions, probably tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Probably day after tomorrow, I'll talk more about this. Tomorrow, we are going to discuss about this service models of cloud computing. This also important. So we'll discuss about service models of cloud computing. So that is all for today's technical questions. Okay. If you already attended my previous session, if you don't have any technical questions, feel free to leave. But if this is your first session, or if you have any general questions like who can learn this AWS, right? The general questions, do I need to learn Linux? What exactly additional things required? If you have any such type of questions, please be here. I'm going to take you through all these questions. I'm going to take 2 minutes break. Then after I'll talk about this. During these 2 minutes, if you already attended yesterday, if you are good, feel free to leave. I don't want to waste your time. Okay? Just give me 2 minutes, guys. Okay. So the first question, do we need any experience to learn this AWS? Whether you're from IT background, non-IT background, you did some non-technical job, now you want to switch to AWS, right? First thing, if you want to learn AWS, all you need to have is interest. Okay. You need to have interest. Money is the secondary thing, okay? Okay. So first, interest and time. You should have time to attend everyday session. You should have time to practice every day. I strongly recommend you to practice right after the session. Right after the session, go to lab or join the practice meeting link for online users. We have a Zoom link. Drop from this meeting, join there. Classroom guys, get your laptop every day. Right after the session, go to lab. Okay, it's in third floor. Go to lab, sit there and practice at least for 1 hour or 1.5 hours. So no prior experience required to understand or to learn this Amazon Web Services. Okay, I can make you to understand the subject. That's completely my responsibility. Right? If you think this demo session is not sufficient to understand what I'm talking, or sometimes what happened, in demo sessions, they will tell a lot of sweet words. But when coming to real So they are going to just like reading the book and all themselves, and they are going to continue. They will close the course. If you have any doubt on my technical knowledge, you go to YouTube, search for AWS Avinash Reddy. There are 120 videos are there approximately. You pick some video randomly. Also, you pick. You go through that video. Am I able to deliver as per your expectation or not? Are you able to understand the concept or not? Verify that. Okay. Even though you don't understand the topic also, today you do one thing, just go to my site and search for how to launch a Windows server, how to launch a Linux server. Complete that video, you got a clarity or not. If you don't understand, you don't join. Subject-wise, completely my responsibility. As I told you, already completed 100 plus batches here. Okay. So anyone can learn. I'll make you to understand the subject. Second thing, do we need to learn any Linux? Yes. Many of may say no, but I'll say yes. Why? Because we are going to launch a server. What you are going to do with the server? You need to make it as a web server. You need to configure load balancers and all. Those all you are going to do at OS level only, right? Without having OS knowledge, can you do anything with that server? Definitely no. So, basic Linux definitely required. That I'm going to explain as part of this course. Even if you take this course curriculum, module wise, Linux introduction, we are going to discuss what is Linux, what is the basic commands, right? Everything from scratch, I'm going to explain. Okay. From ls command also, I'm going to explain. Then on top of that, I'm going to share a free Linux course. This free Linux course coupon, I'll share it tomorrow itself. Whether you join or not, whether you are going to pay the fees or not, doesn't matter to me. So I made this course for guys who is like, who is planning to learn AWS, right? So I made this course. I'll share this course with you guys. You register for this course tomorrow. Okay. I'll give a coupon, 100% coupon. So basically it's a paid course, $20 course. I'm going to give it for free. So you can use that. And along with that Linux course, I'm going to give one more course also, Jenkins and Git. So you can use that also to gain knowledge on some common DevOps tools. And then another one. I already have some experience, working experience as a system admin, network admin, database admin. Right? I'll tell you one thing, guys. What is AWS? If you ask me, before AWS to manage infrastructure, multiple teams are there. System administrators, they will manage all the systems. Network administrators, they will manage firewall, all the network devices. Storage administrators, they will take care about storage, SAN, NAS, LUNs, iSCSIs, right? So then application administrator, what application we need to install, Apache need to install, what need to configure, how need to deploy, what need to deliver, right? So these all guys, database administrator, again about databases. We are going to learn all of these guys' job. What activity generally they do, how it is simplified in AWS. So if you are into any of this category, existing operations category, okay, you can easily learn this AWS. That's the first thing. But you're not just limiting to only one stream. You're going to perform activity on all modules. Earlier, you should be master in one. But now in AWS, you should be jack of all. Okay. So that is a main concept of AWS. So if you're into any operations job, then definitely your career will go to next level with this AWS. So then if you're a developer, and developers also can learn this AWS, but it's added advantage. I'm openly admitting this. For developers, it's not a huge step. You are going to upgrade your skills. You are going to use your programming skills to develop an application. Now you are going to automate the things on AWS, or the application is going to deploy in AWS. But definitely more job opportunities, more calls you can expect if you learn this AWS. Why? Because as I told you, organizations are moving towards cloud. The developer also, developing an application that definitely required, but end of the day, that application is going to run on cloud. We are going to use cloud services only. So definitely, if you already know all the cloud services and infra services, you can develop your application better. For that, definitely this course will help you. And we are having some services like a Lambda, Cloud Formation. This Lambda supports Python, Go language, Ruby, Node.js, .NET Core, Java. Again, am I going to teach all that programming languages? Then it's going to be 5 years course, at least 4 years course. Okay, I'm not going to teach you what is Java, Python, what is Go and all. If you already have some experience in one of the programming language, how you can apply that experience here, how you can do the automations, that I'm going to explain. Out of all this, I'm going to take Python codes. For example, if you take this, these are some codes I've written. Okay, so for example, you have a server, right? Yesterday I told you an example. I need a server. That server should start every day at 9 a.m. should start every day at 6 p.m. I want to achieve that. If you don't depend on this programming, right? If you don't depend on this developer, manually you need to do that. But now this simple code, whatever the instance IDs I'm mentioning here, when this code runs, those all instances are going to stop. So such type of automation activities we are going to do. Okay. So as a developer, you are going to involve in such type of operations. So again, you need to know how to create a Lambda, what is an instance, what is a region, right? Where to run this, how to create this Lambda function. These all things I'm going to explain as part of the course. So that is purely for developers. Okay. So in same way, we have some options like a CDKs, Cloud Development Kits and all. I'll explain with that CDK also. And I'm going to talk about CI/CD also. CI/CD is a primary concept. This, if you're learning DevOps, they will explain you CI/CD only, right? Continuous integration and continuous deployment or delivery. When developer committed, what is going to happen, right? So in this course, with the help of AWS own services, we are going to perform the CI/CD. Okay, so that also primarily developer part. So this, if you having any experience in coding, that definitely added advantage if you learn this AWS. And now, do I need to learn DevOps along with this AWS? My answer at moment, no. You no need to learn DevOps at moment. Okay. First of all, you no need to, if you completely got a clarity on this AWS and this mechanic, its services, you no need to. Okay, but I admit that some common tools are there. Instead of AWS, some open source tools, organization prefer to use. Cost is a primary matter. So open source means anyone can use that, they can modify, right? So a lot of plugins available, for example, Jenkins. So such type of widely used ones, what I'm doing, I already made a free course just like a Linux, I'll give it to you. I already made a course on GitHub, I'll give it to you. Okay, so on top of that, what tools we are going to discuss? We are going to discuss CI/CD with AWS own services. We are going to discuss AWS container services like ECR and ECS. So how exactly we have Docker? Same way, AWS has its own service called ECS. We are going to discuss that AWS own service. In interview, how you can cover this? If you got any question, okay, hey Avinash, do you know Docker? I say, yes, we are using Docker technology, but mostly we will stick with AWS own services. So we are using ECS service primarily, right? So then definitely that guy, you are saying yes, but you are saying I'm using only AWS. So that definitely interviewer satisfies with the requirement. Okay. So then are we going to have any project? Yes, 3 capstone projects. And we are going to have lot of tasks. Task means whatever I'm going to explain, not asking you to do the same thing. Additional, definitely you need to do little R&D to complete the tasks. Okay. So if you are able to complete all the given tasks and if you are able to complete all the given projects, you can add 3 years experience to your profile if you have any gaps. Don't ask me for the certificate and all the consultancies and all. I don't have any contacts. Okay. So, but that much level of knowledge you are going to gain if you are able to complete this, right? And that's what I talked. If you have any gaps and all, spend a lot of time compared to other guys. You need to spend a bit more time. You complete all the tasks, right? You read more frequently asked questions based on the services. So then you can add 3 years experience guy and experience as a 3 years guy, and you can survive. Okay. And course duration is total 45 sessions every day, 1 hour, 15 minutes to 1 hour, 20 minutes. That's a max. Okay. And it's Monday to Saturday. Some Saturdays, yes, we can decide on that. If you really course is progressed, you have a lot of things to practice. Yes, we can take a break on Saturday, but don't expect break on every Saturday. Okay. This Saturday, yes, we have. Okay. This Saturday, why? Because demo, all these finalized things and all. This Saturday, you can expect a break. From next Saturday onwards, don't expect breaks. Okay. And you know what? Saturdays, I'll be personally available. I personally available in lab if you want to discuss something, if you want to need clarity on anything, I'll be available on Saturdays. You can discuss things. So if you come on Saturdays, so that is the primary reason we are extending it to Saturday. For example, sometimes what happened, I may pulled into some call or weekly they mandate 2 days I have to go to office. Even though my team is not here, I'm the only guy who manages AWS environment from here. Directly I report to client, but I have to go to office and I have to sit there. Right? So they mandated it, right? But what I'm doing, going 2 hours swiping, coming home, continuing. I'm not sure how many days this is going to work out. Okay, right. So this course is actually designed to clear some certification exams like a cloud practitioner certification exam, solution architect associate, SysApps admin certification exam. You can clear these certification exams. So if you are planning for developer also, definitely I'll help you with that. I already completed all of the certifications, right? I have a lot of questions also. Right after the session, I'm going to share around 700 certification questions that will definitely help you to clear your certification exam. Okay. Right. So these are general questions I get for every single batch. If you still have any more questions, right? One thing, I'm not going to answer. You have to do little R&D on that. Is AWS good or not? If you ask me, I'll 100% say good only. Right? If I say no, AWS is bad, you go and join Azure. I'm going to lose money. Why I'll say that? If your business is that, will you say negative on your business itself? No, right? So don't expect answer for that question. Okay. It's not a good thing also, right? You before joining this course, do little R&D. Go to internet, go to LinkedIn, go to YouTube, search, then you will get an answer for that. And if you ask me, I can say AWS is a global leader in all cloud segment. AWS is a market leader. More job opportunities are there with AWS only. You go to Naukri, you search for AWS job, how many results coming? You search for Azure job, how many results coming? Then you decide. Okay. Job opportunity after this course, Naresh IT will give you job assistance. It's not job guarantee course, but Naresh IT will give job assistance. So recently, 8 members placed from Naresh IT only. I think I have that image. So one thing, whatever your educational background is, whether non-technical, technical, doesn't matter. As I told you, I'll make you to understand the subject. Okay. Pay any money for certification? Yeah, for certification exam, for cloud practitioner, it's $100 that you need to pay. Solution Architect Associate, $150. You are going to pay to directly to AWS, not to me or Naresh IT. Okay. So $150 for these exams. So you pay if you really want to. Couple of things. Okay. First thing, this is a NASCAM enabled batch. NASCAM Prime Skills enabled batch. So that means you are going to get 50% of your course content back, course fees back. If you're maximum 4,000, I believe. So if you complete an assessment after this course, that assessment also conducted by Indian government. If you complete that assessment from Indian government only, you will get 4,000 rupees back into your account. Okay. So how and what is the process that we will discuss at the end of this course? Some different team is there, they will assist you. Second thing is, okay, we are going to provide a sandbox for every student. This is a practice AWS account for 3 months. Practice AWS account. We recently introduced this program. So we are going to give you an AWS account where you can join and you can practice all the things we are discussing. Some limitations are there that we are not able to overcome. For example, IAM service, we cannot practice there. I'll recommend you to create your own AWS account, but keep it till you get good amount of confidence. Once you got good amount of confidence, then you can practice in your account. Till that time, you practice on the sandboxes. Okay, sandbox for every student who joins here, right? So that also exclusive for this batch, right? And yeah, the exam and all those are common things. The 3 capstone projects also designed by me. That's also exclusive for Avinash students. And you are going to get 250 pages book, AWS book, that if you really want, you can get from outside also. You go to any Xerox center, you ask for Avinash material, they will give you. But I'll give you soft copy. Okay, right. So AWS solution architect job role. See, solution architect, most of you, okay, I've seen that question, Gavali, right? So the first confusing thing is, I mentioned here AWS solution architect associate, right? The word itself, solution architect, because of that word, lot of guys thinks, okay, what we are going to learn, all these things and all. First, we are going to learn how we can architect AWS, how we can use a service, what is the on-premise service, existing service we have, what is the service we have in AWS, right? In place of that existing service, how we can use AWS. So on that area, your knowledge is going to tested. So that's the reason AWS calling it as a solution architect associate. Solution architect is not a job role, just a certification exam name. After this course, can you put your designation as a solution architect, AWS solution architect? Not at all. If you want to work as an architect, you should have minimum 10 years experience. Then only you can promote yourself as an architect. So the exam name is solution architect because the exam is designed to test your architectural skills, operational skills. That is the reason AWS named it as. Right after this course, what are all the job roles I can add, for what are all the job roles I can try? For that, I think I have one. Yeah. See, after this course, you can try as these job role: AWS engineer, cloud engineer, AWS administrator, AWS operational associate or AWS operational engineer, cloud admin or AWS admin. These are the job roles you can try. Okay. Yeah. So don't worry by looking at that architect word. Hope that answers your question, Gavali. Do I need certification to get the job? Certification You pay, I'll give you. In Amirpet, everything is possible. In Amirpet, you sit in USA, I'll make you to clear certification exam from here itself. So certification won't give you a job, okay? If certification gives job, if you have $300 or $150, you may get a job by this time. So certification just add advantage to your profile. It just gave some weightage. For example, for a job role, 2 profiles type. They will give some weightage to that certified guy. Certification won't give you job. If you want, tell me, I'll give you contact. You go there and directly they will give you certification. Right? So why certification is matter for AWS? When you are preparing for the certification exam, for that money, you are going to read a lot of documentations and all. You are going to, at least for example, you got a dump itself. You're going to read that question 2 to 3 times. Whenever you are reading that question, you will come across some scenarios, some important points about the services. Oh, we can use this service in this manner. That automatically, that scenarios will inject into your knowledge. So for that purpose, the certification will be helpful. Again, I'm not asking you to do the certification. I'm asking you to complete the project, complete the tasks. Certification is not at all mandatory, and certification won't give you any job. Many says it's difficult to land in AWS oriented job for fresher. How true it is? It's not true. I'll say, okay. So I'll say one thing, but you directly don't get AWS engineer job. You first initially you're going to work as a production support guy, right? So you need to be limited to only monitoring phases and all. Once your experience is increasing, once you're showcasing your skills, then they will give you production activities and all. For a fresher, you take any organization. For a fresher, are we directly going to give production workloads and all? No, first management training, so then associate, right? Then senior associate, then after. Why that phases are there? So, yes, we have AWS monitoring job. Right. Okay. Can you provide any recorded sessions for missed classes? Uh, yeah. So there is a dedicated team. There is a dedicated team who works on these activities. Yes. So we'll get that lab, the batch coordinator information by tomorrow. They are going to share you all the contact information and all, and you will be part of one Slack channel. Okay, you will be part of one Slack channel. You can post all your questions there, not only now, later also. And that guy is going to be primary contact for all that operations. Test is online or offline, both options available. You can go to test center and you can attend, or you can take exam from your home as well. All right, any more questions for me, guys? Fee details at Naresh team is going to share that information. Fee and admin information, we will get it by tomorrow. Okay, I think I answered all of your questions. If I missed any question, I'll pick that again tomorrow. That's it for today's session. See you again tomorrow, guys. Thank you.